Oh, here we are. See if I get a decent shot here. Hey everybody, this is Callier, and this is the Keep On Shootin'. It's a vlog or a podcast, or technically what it would be called. But I do know what this is called. This is technically called the very first Red Ryder. Now, I got this, maybe about a week ago. I got a few decent shots out of it, and it shot really well, and then started performing poorly, and then immediately started performing really poorly. This is the first one I've gotten that was in effect broken. Well, maybe not the first one, but very few of these that I've gotten, and I might have maybe 100 of them, maybe now, I don't know, 60, 50, somewhere between 50 and 100, let's just call it that. But I keep them all in a safe, and so they're all not just here and accessible for me to show you. I wish they were, because I could show you the different variants that I've gotten. I've gotten several variants of this, and you know, my eye was always on the prize of getting the first variant. Of course, I was really excited to get the 108, because the 108 was the variant that was that this was designed off of. And then I, of course, have some of the more recent and the recent collectibles, like 1980s of the Red Ryders. But this, as you can see, sports the copper band. Yeah, look at that. And also the copper front. If you ever see one with a copper band, but not the copper front pinched on like that, chances are it's a Frankenstein. And something, I don't know if I'm just noticing this or if it's actually true or not, but it seems like the Fred Harmon signature right there is really much clearer than on the other ones that I have. Yeah. Now, I got this with a cracked stock, slightly cracked, just on a little hairline crack on the edge. Not a big deal. I did oil, as always. Oil the stocks if they're dried, and most of them are usually dried, and that kind of brings them back to life. So yeah, this was working really well, and now I'm pretty sure the seals are just done on this. So I have to make a decision. Am I going to try to do my first seal job on this, the #1 variant, which I guess that's not much of a concern, just actually getting the tools and doing it. I have to get one of those tools to decompress, spring, etc. Might even have to follow some instructions. So we won't be shooting this today. That's why it's always nice to have one of these on hand, right? The granddaddy, and then the buck. Yeah, I know I always bring the buck out because I'm just so impressed at the price point on this, the craftsmanship on it, the accuracy. Yeah, it's a shorter sight radius, so you gotta work harder to hit what you want, but you'd still hit out at 50 yards, maybe even 60 yards with some good old windage, right? Kentucky windage to make it happen. So, and then this is sort of what started the whole issue of wanting more of these and collecting these. This is actually the Model 25, and I swore I'd stay away from the lever action and only collect the 25s and try to get the holy grail of 25s, which to me is the 1914. I've gotten a couple 1937s as well, I believe, or am I mistaken? Yeah. Variant 7. Let's just the numbers are getting crazy. But yeah, the variant 7s are great, but I really want to get my hands on a good, solid 1914 model number 25. So yes, the question beckons to be answered. Should I send this out or fix it myself? This is in nice condition, and the person I bought it from, they were willing to just refund me my money and have me send it back, but I explained to her I was a collector and that I would prefer to rather just have her discount percentage, and we worked out a percentage that we both felt was fair, and both lived happily ever after. I didn't have to part with this, and I just gotta figure out how and when, or when and how to fix it. In the meantime, this one doesn't ever seem to need fixing. Just shooting. Let's see. Oh man, making me look bad already, Buck. Trying to hit that little aboriginal out there. I don't know if you see it. It's about 25 yards. There we go. If you don't have one of these bucks, you ought to get one. They're just pound for pound one of the best BB guns out there. You could put a longer stock on it if you need to. I probably should buy another one of these. I'm borrowing this from my kid. Okay, missing consecutively. I think I keep shooting over. Oh yeah, shooting in front. So, if some of you are seeing this for the first time, wondering what in the heck is he shooting and showing himself missing so much for. Well, BB guns don't have a rifle barrel, so shot placement can sometimes be tricky, and especially right now. Camera's rolling. Seems like no matter how far left I'm shooting, it keeps going right. There we go. And so you have to kind of figure out how you're compensating. Like I said, this buck has a shorter sight radius and the trigger is hard. So you really have to pull your skills together to make it happen. There you go. But it's not difficult. It's a good shooting little gun. And I am not making excuses. The gun is still shooting better than I am. There we go. So anyway, guys, I haven't made a video in a while. You know, soon, I don't know how soon, I'm gonna really, I have so many of these to show you, right? At least 50, maybe even 100. And then also just videos doing comparisons and whatnot. It's just a matter of getting the interest, and I have the interest, but I have to divvy my time, right? I have to figure out where I'm going to put my time. But the more interest I get in these from other people will probably stimulate me to allocate the time to show you more of these. But I do try to keep you somewhat abreast of some of the new finds. And this is the original 1940. 1940. I'm sorry it's not working right now, but it will. We'll get it working. It's just really a seal job that needs to be done. But a 1940 Red Ryder, the original first variant. I believe the second variant doesn't have the copper bands. If that's not true, somebody please let me know. The third variant, I think, doesn't exist or is so rare there are no pictures of it. And then the fourth variant, which is the one that I have, has an aluminum lever. This is cast iron. And I believe the fourth variant came out somewhere around 1947. So this is also pre-war. This is right before we went into World War II, and they stopped production, and then went into production after the war, I think in 45, 46, somewhere around there. So yeah, this is really exciting, man. I'm really stoked to get this. It's in pretty damn good shape. Percentage wise, what, maybe in 60-70% shape, maybe even more, depending. No, it's in no shape as far as I'm concerned if it doesn't shoot, so we'll get it up to snuff though. All right, well, hey, shoot me a comment. Let me know what you'd like to see in the daisy department. Yeah, I started this channel out as a general air gun channel because when I first started, I had more various kind of air guns like PCPs and brake barrels and multi-pump stuff like that, and I only had a few daisies. And I started off showing the daisies, and you caught me right in the middle of catching somewhat of a habit. And now, of course, my daisy collection far outshines my standard pellet gun. I would never think that a BB gun collection would ever take precedence over the pellet guns that I had been interested in. Quite honestly, I've lost interest in them in comparison. They'd be nice to have these certain pellet guns, right? The Impact, the FX. You guys know which ones, right? But for the money, I would much rather invest in these daisies. I think they'll only go up in value. So, all right, guys. Thanks for joining me. I'll see you next time.